355.
Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wrenches in my top drawer of my Snap-on box. Hey, what's up, guys? This is MJ100K, and today we got to talk about what is the best used Ford Edge that you could buy. If you're looking for an affordable used vehicle that has a little more room for you and your family, then you are in the right place. I have done hours of diligent automotive nerd research about this vehicle so that you don't have to. So, unlike my previous what is the best year used car review videos, for this used car review, I'm not going to recommend a specific year, but instead I'm going to recommend a specific engine and also a specific trim level. The Ford Edge has an option of 4 different engine choices. I'm going to recommend getting the 3.5 liter V6 Duratec engine. For the people out there who want to save some cash on their purchase and on future repairs, I'm going to recommend the base SE trim. The Ford Edge began production in 2007. In the US, there were 2 generations for this vehicle. The first generation goes from 2007 to 2014. The second generation goes from 2015 until the present. Ford made this vehicle to compete with the Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4. And I think that when the Ford Edge has the 3.5 liter engine, it is just as reliable. To prove this, I went to cargurus.com and did a little research, and the findings are as follows. I found 144 Ford Edge vehicles with over 200,000 miles on them. The top 5 mileage examples included both generations, and they all had over 250,000 miles. The highest mileage Ford Edge that I found had over 355,000 miles. So out of the 144 vehicles that had over 200,000 miles, 138 of them had the 3.5 liter engine. 6 of them had the 2 liter turbo engine. So as you can see from a reliability standpoint, the 3.5 liter engine is the one you want for this vehicle. So today I have a special treat for y'all. Let's get out of the house and go on a road trip to see the highest mile Ford Edge for sale in the entire country. We are here at the dealership. This Ford Edge has the most miles of any Ford Edge in the whole country.
Dear God, it's beautiful.
Over 300,000 miles.
Tree fitted.
Maybe I might buy it. I don't know. We'll see. A little rust there. A little accidente. See, how's the interior looking? It's a little rough. Ain't too bad. It's not bad for 300 grand. Over 300 grand.
Tree fitted.
Thank you, Ford. You did a good job.
Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
So this car came out in 2007, and to me, it doesn't look dated at all. It looks pretty good for a used car. This car is high mileage capable, and that will be, of course, if the owner does the maintenance and doesn't drive it around like a maniac. Even though the highest mileage one looked like somebody was driving it around like a maniac. With the 3.5 liter engine, you'll get about 18 miles per gallon in the city and 25 on the highway. I do like the powertrain. The 3.5 liter engine is strong, and the 6-speed transmission is pretty durable as well. No transmission lasts forever, but they did make a ton of those, so if you do have to replace it, it's not going to be too much money. I like that this engine does have a timing chain, so no timing belts to worry about changing. And I looked up online, it looks like you can get to the fuel pump from inside of the vehicle. You just have to remove the back seat, so you don't have to drop the tanker like that. So for this vehicle, I do have a couple of dislikes. Number one is it's a little bit harder to work on than, let's say, a RAV4 or a Honda CR-V. There's not as much room in the engine bay because it does have the 6-cylinder engine. So I'm thinking some of the repairs may be a little bit harder for the average do-it-yourselfer. So for this vehicle in particular, if you're going to do the rear spark plugs, I would recommend go ahead and do the coils at the same time. That way you don't have to take the intake manifold off twice. So I put a link in the description to a video from a channel called Robinson's Auto that will walk you through the repair if you want to try it yourself. And also for this engine, one repair that you don't want to do yourself is the water pump. For the 3.5 liter engine, the water pump is driven by the timing chain. So in order to do that repair, you will need a cam holding tool, and this repair does take a while to do. So if you're buying one of these with high miles, try to see if this repair has been done already. Money saving tips for this vehicle. I give you the mechanic version of Murphy's Law. Anything that can break will break eventually. The number one thing I would avoid when shopping for this car is the panoramic roof. Trust me, they are hard to repair and they are hard to find parts for. I'll get into more detail on that in the common problems section of this video. So number two, unless you live in an area that gets a ton of snow all year, I would just get the front wheel drive version of this vehicle. I think the front wheel drive is going to be fine for getting around even in the snow. I mean, Ford all-wheel drive is a good system. You'll save money by not having it. You won't have to worry about fixing your all-wheel drive or changing the fluid in your rear differential if you don't have one. So tip number three is I'm going to recommend getting the base SE trim. Now, almost all of the SE trims are front wheel drive. They all have cloth seats and none of them have the panoramic roof. When I did my study on high mileage Ford Edge vehicles, 4 out of the top 5 high mileage were the base model. When I did my internship at Ford Technical Hotline, a lot of the dealership mechanics reported problems with the panoramic roof. I mean, they're all type of problems. They crack, they leak, they get stuck open, they get stuck closed. They're just a huge pain in the butt, and they are very expensive to repair. And look, that's not just a problem picking on the Ford Edge. I recommend skipping any car with a panoramic roof. I mean, look, the inside of the car actually gets hotter in the summer with the sun beaming through that roof. And you know what? I don't think they're very safe in a major accident. So if your car flips over, wouldn't you rather have steel above your head than just glass protecting you? Common problem number two. For the 2011 through 2013, there is a TSB for power steering pump noise. So make sure your mechanic listens for that closely when they are inspecting your used car for you. Common problem number three that I found, some people have reported issues with the coil packs and ECU for this vehicle. There is a TSB for the 2007 and 2008 Edge model years, but some people on FordEdgeForum.com are saying that they may come up in other years as well. So if you want to see what this repair actually looks like, I found a video of a technician fixing this exact issue. It's a channel called Auto Repair Guys. So I'm not sure which one takes out the other one. It looks like they have kind of a symbiotic relationship to where if the coil pack fails, it'll damage the ECU, or I don't know if the ECU fails and then it takes out the coil pack. But either way, if you get a misfire code, most mechanics will just replace the coil pack and then send you on your way. But in this case, they may be replacing the coil pack, and that driver in the ECU is also bad. So any mechanic that's looking at this definitely needs to pay close attention to what they're replacing. So if I was to buy one of these vehicles, I would probably go ahead and when I did a tune-up, I would replace all the coils at the same time with OEM factory coils, just to make sure that if the coils go bad, that they don't take out the ECU. So for this situation, if your ECU is also damaged, you may be able to send it out to get repaired, which is going to be a lot cheaper than replacing the whole thing. All vehicles have some common problems. Even the Toyota RAV4 and the Honda CR-V, they got problems of their own. We just got to fix the problems and keep on driving. So it's going to be either that or deal with buying a new car for $40,000. And guess what? New cars have problems too. Where do you think TSBs come from? But even though this vehicle is capable of extreme high mileage, when buying this or any used car, make sure to get it checked out by a mechanic before you buy it. I made a video on how to screen the previous owner of the vehicle, and it is linked in the description. In most cases, you could screen them online and it is completely free. So speaking of free, it's free to hit that like button. It really helps the channel, and this channel is here to help you. So with that, I turn it over to you guys. Have you owned a Ford Edge? Please let us know your experience, good or bad. Let us know what engine you have too, because that's important. So if you have any suggestions for future used car review videos, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for tuning in and have a good one.